guys just figure out a spot to get to, okay? I mean, as far as watching, we're going to go through all 11 exercises, okay? So number one, please look at posture. This is as big as anything. We call these over-the-head forearm extensions. Our elbows, if you notice, are a little broader than shoulder, right? We're not interlocking the hand. Everything we do in tubing is loose and relaxed, a lot of breathing, okay?
This is one thing I noticed on this exercise right here. You can see we're in a very aggressive lunge position. By the way, this knee is never going to get past the ankle. There's too much pressure on the knee. So if you were to get parallel to the ground, you have a right angle here. The knee would be right over the ankle. What I see on this exercise a lot when I'm watching kids doing this is just this kind of just standing there offline, just kind of flopping around. This is a very powerful move right here. You get your legs loose too for this. So you guys can all try this when you're doing this. Get in a very powerful lunge position here. I am getting my hip flexor stretched out. I'm getting this front thigh pumped and ready to go.
Every exercise we do, by the way, we do 25 reps. With 25 reps here compared to a month from now when you might be another 2 feet out in front, you can imagine how much stronger you're getting, okay? But the other thing is if you do 25 reps and you're out too far and you start getting sloppy basically, you start getting a lot of effort, that's just back up a little bit. Always make sure your technique is and your alignment is good. 2 and 3, they're basically stretches. They're not even really, you don't have to do a whole lot. But number 2, we just call it side stretching. So we're locking this back hip in and we're getting length. Biceps right by our ear. Phil, also remind me that on our website, you click on the Jaeger Bands, it's a PDF, and they can literally tonight go home, print out an updated cheat sheet. Are you aware that we have that?
Yeah. I was going to do the laminated and stick it on the page here.
Perfect.
I'm sure their college like it too.
Yeah.
They have one set. They have to use the same set. Here, everyone has their own. So.
They use the same set of bands?
Yeah, they have like 10 and they share them.
Oh, gotcha. What's that? Sakudo on there? So we go both ways twice. The reason why is your obliques and your lats are very delicate, so be careful. If you try to get real aggressive, you don't want to start pulling that area out. Number 3 is diagonal, so now we've got the lat and the side, so now we're going to go a little bit more for the shoulder blade. And some pitchers especially, I'm telling you, you get into that blade, it's hard to get to, it's money. This is money. So we know you guys have all done this before. Does it all look pretty familiar?
None of the stretches
No.
do now.
No. Okay. That's why we're here.
I saw Dustin and Trevor doing different stuff like this, so I knew that we weren't up to date. You know, Dustin's at UCR, they're doing it, and Trevor, you know, comes down.
Trevor Bell?
Yeah, before spring training and deadline.
Yep. I should have had him put on a demo.
And Trevor hooked up with you only after he hurt his arm, correct? Like in high school, remember that one year he hurt his arm and all of a sudden he came out to see you?
Well, we had him in like 9th grade and he didn't take it that seriously. And then his senior year he did. Yeah. In his senior year he was sitting 94, 95.
And there was money involved, so it's time to take it serious.
Good motivation.
Like $1 million, yeah.
Plus the funny thing is when he went to sign with the Angels, he went on a very restricted program with them, and I warned him, and he did it for a year or two. He was down to like 89, 91, and pretty panicked. And then he just said, okay, I'm going to do it now. I don't care what they say to me. And he started long tossing, right back to 94. Just clockwork.
See how straight their bodies are, guys? When you guys do this, it looks like you are the guy in a Wide World of Sports that took off on the... So see this.
Yeah, if you're doing that, you're too far from the fence.
It's not a contest who's further away.
That's simple.
Jim's not stronger because he's a foot further away.
I never get farther than this, ever, basically. I prefer up in my reps. So all you he-men out there that are pulling these things like piano strings, if you're doing 25 reps and you need to go up to 35 reps or even 40 reps, you're going to be begging for mercy. Trust me. You want the burn to come late, not early. That's a rule of thumb. If you fight this thing, fight it, you're too far from the fence. Get closer.
We get that. See how
Look at
still
this,
they are?
Our heads are not moving.
This is the biggest thing you have achieving. You start creating momentum so that your muscles miss the workout and your body doesn't work out. So in other words, keep my head forward like I'm guarding a basketball right here. It's tough. It's a lot easier just to do this. It's really easy to do this. It's really hard. Not move the head.
Try to keep our head higher than the band too now, right? Just keep it higher than the band. These clips are never ever going to break deep. Sorry that it happened. These, we changed them just in case that it's important. Just in case the band snaps or whatever. Always look for wear on these things, you know? I see some of you guys are taped up and tied in knots. Just, we'll send you a new one.
This is my favorite exercise after I had rotator cuff. And it was killer. But this is the one that's good. I just had the strength.
Okay, so once we go through that first set, we'll take a little mini break. Even though we've already done a bunch of arm circles, we'll still get some kind of range of motion for our throwing arm. Who's videotaping? Well, I gotta go right hand. So number one is internal rotation. You know, I'll do this angle. So I'll give you guys a better angle. You can see it this way. We're going kind of fast, but really you want to have fluid movements, okay? Notice how easy it is for me to lean right here and then just turn. And I'm just completely missing the exercise. But watch the difference.
Why are your fingers under your armpit? Explain to them.
It's a little more advanced than we need to know out here, but physical therapist that we get our instructions from that we really like. She said you want basically like a 15, 30 degree gap. It's for the rotator cuff angle. But ironically, when you go the other way, or interestingly, you take the hand out. You guys can understand that. For number one, internal rotation, put your hand under your armpit. You want to have a little gap in there. Anything you go external right now, these are much harder. Not even close. So this is where you have to really pay attention to alignment, body awareness, and not cheating. So in other words, to make up for my elbow staying real tight here, I'm gonna lift and turn. That way my tricep, my big muscles can do the work. It's a no-no. Again, my hand's on my elbow so I can't move. I'm not gonna lean because that helps. Notice my posture. Just get your posture right and it's hard to cheat. Elbow stays on the hip. You get questions, how far out do you go? Well, you go as far out as you can to where you're under control and you have natural flexibility. Okay, number 3, we did internal, external. Now we're going to do internal again. We're going to raise it to shoulder heights. We call these internal rotations at shoulder height. Notice the clip and the elbow. Where's my, are you filming us? So these next 4, it's important that you're right on line with me because basically the clip is like home plate, okay? My elbow has to be on top of home plate on the next 4. Again, cheating is simple as leaning back. It's going to give me leverage. This is much harder. And it makes sense because you want to be where you're like the hitter. You don't hit this way and you don't throw this way. Okay, external rotation, the hardest one by far. Home plate and the clip are in one line.
The common thing I see here is this move right here. The elbow needs to stay in front of the shoulder at all times. So if it's starting to drift, you're too far from the fence. I've seen guys right here. Trust me, I still feel it. Keep that elbow right there in front of the shoulder. Just a monster.
Okay, the last one to me, well, the last 2. This is arguably the most important one, especially after a pitcher's throwing a pen or in a game. Because everything that you break down throwing forward, you're not going to replace or build up. I tell pitchers that 50 of these or 30 of these after you throw in a game or on a mound is like 15 pulls in your arm. It's that ridiculous for your recovery period. That helps. Do reverse throwing, especially after throw in a mound situation.
Now, do you want it down at the base of the fence like Jimmy has it right now?
No, we actually want it more on the belly button, but this is creating more resistance for him. The problem is, in our video it is down there, but over the years I've adapted because of this main reason. When it's down there, guys tend to really lean and they create a little more of a jerk. Here, it's a little bit more fluid. Plus, we don't want guys grinding too hard. We would rather this be a little more fluid. Look how far back I can go. I can create as much resistance as I want.
And then you're doing this after you throw too. This is a recovery thing after you pitch.
Right, so for pitchers, the three things post-pin or post-gain situation are all the externals. So 1, 2, 3. They should do a full set of all three of those. The recovery period will go through the roof. It's a joke.
Okay, pitcher, so that's your responsibility.
Yeah, if you guys like feeling really good after you've thrown in a game the next day, as opposed to really sore, just do this one time. You'll be hooked for life. Trust me. Okay, we have our last one because we're going to go throw right now. We're going to forward throw it, but it's our routine, guys. We can't help it. So we have things that we like to do, and maybe on video, if you see some of this stuff, it might strike a nerve with you. It's something you like to do. See, we don't stretch anymore. Our upper bodies, throwing, we don't need to. We got it. This is it. Again, my video guide, the reason why that home plate's important for the last 4 that I just did is because the tubing will either help synchronize my mechanics every time, or if I'm not paying attention, look what happens if I'm stepping on the plate, so to speak. Two really bad things are going to happen. One is my spine's going to bend to make up for that space. And 2, my arm slot's going to get high. So 2 major issues. Versus if I know what I'm doing, I back out and I just call this a batter's box. Now if I were to stop and turn around and look, my elbow and the clip are in one line where it should be. So tubing will actually help reinforce good mechanics. That's the beauty of this. You just have to be careful. We're not here to talk about mechanics, but I'd say if nothing else, just work on your head being pretty still and your eyes being pretty level. That alone just goes a long way. Also, if you notice, we're big into loading and extending. Loading and extending. Do you ever get rained on and you don't get a good long toss in? How many of these things do you think I might do to get my throwing in for the day? Anybody want to guess?
50.
How many? 3 times as much? So 25, 75? It's pretty close. If I really needed a good throw and I was in good shape, I'd probably do about 120. And you know what would be cool is my first 50 would be pretty easy. And my next 25 would be testers. And all of a sudden out here, that's simulating a 250-foot throw. For some of you guys, this might simulate a 300-foot throw. A kid like Trevor Bauer, it might simulate a 390-foot throw. And we're done. The quick thing on tubing, then we'll get our throwing in. Like a lot of things in life, quality versus quantity. Like Jim said, get the burn late. Don't get real big and strong early. Just tease it, tease it, tease it. Before you know it, it's like, wow. I've had guys throw in the mid-90s on this last one for the first time. At 25 guys, they had no tubing left, no resistance left. They were done. But they did the technique properly. Okay. I'll have the pitchers stay down here with me. The position players will go out with Jim. And somebody have a glove for me. This is sacrilegious, man.